Greetings, friends! Today, I want to showcase the League Starter Guide for my Bleed Ritualist Magic Finder build in Path of Exile 2 Return of the Ancients. In this video, I will cover everything you need to know, like gems, gear slots, passives and jewels. This is the budget League Starter build, so it has a lot of potential for improvements, and I only played it during the weekend. So let's get right into it. This is a level 84 Ritualist build that is using an attack called Rake. Bleeding all monsters on hit for heavy damage over time. We also use Spear Field for AoE clear and to boost our damage further. For the defenses, we have 3000 maximum life, but we overleach to about 4200, 25% block from our shield, 47% estimated physical damage reduction from our 3000 armor. Our res is capped except for chaos, although it's quite close. We leech around 30% of our physical damage. That will directly go to our HP. For our offense, we have around 55,000 DPS on PoE Ninja, but this number is not calculated properly, so our DPS is way higher in reality. We got 44 Rage and 142 increased item rarity so far. I will keep this build guide a little bit shorter, so let's speed through everything. Let's check out the skill gems that we are using. For our main damage, we have Rake linked with Heavy Swing, Heft, Deep Cuts 2, Brutality 3 and Ancestral Call 2. Spear Field is linked with Rage 3, Brutality 3, Heft, Rearm 2 and Atalui Bloodletting. If you don't have money for Ataluis, just replace this one with Rapid Attacks. But it does help out tremendously because we don't have to use mana to cast our Spear Field, and since it is quite spammable, you'll be using your mana flask quite a lot. For our utility, we have Bloodhound's Mark linked with Mark for Death 2, Mark of Siphoning 2 and Physical Mastery. Bloodhound linked with Brutality 3, Execute 2, Bleed 4 and Heavy Swing. If you want to use the new Build Helper feature for this build, all you have to do is go on Mobalytics and click the download build file from there. Then just paste it into your PoE2 build planner folder and you're done. For our auras, we do not require any additional spirit right now, we just use the 100 innate from campaign, so we don't have to deal with any numbers from our amulet or body armor giving us more spirit, or shield for that matter. We start out with Blood Boil from our Ascendancy. It comes free after we skill it, and we link it with Prolonged Duration 2, Brutality 3, Physical Mastery and Acrimony. Then we have Attrition with no links, just a standalone aura. Berserk linked with Precision. This is improving our Rage buff. Herald of Blood linked with Execute 2, Brutality 3, Heft and Magnified Area. And that's it for our gems. Now I will showcase the gear that I am using. Keep in mind, this is the League Starter version, so the gear will change in the upcoming days. You will find the PoE Ninja website in the description of the video for the live progression. Now I will start off with our uniques. Couture of Crimson, unique armor. This allows us to life leech and overflow our maximum life. It also gives us up to 15% increased maximum life. Try and get a decent roll on this one when you buy it. Our belt, Rizlata Skull, gives us a big chunk of life up to 100 and up to 40% more maximum physical attack damage. This is the most important roll, so try and get 40%. Ideally, we also want 30% less minimum, but such a belt is going to be quite expensive. Try and get a budget version. For the most important piece of gear, it's our spear. We need as much physical damage as possible to translate it as much damage and damage over time. Ideally, we want it with a +3 to melee skills. Unfortunately, I did not get it. I got +2 projectile, which is quite useless, but at least I have unveiled attack speed, so I am happy with this item I crafted myself. And if in case you are curious how I crafted it, I just picked up all the magic spears from the ground until I finally find percent increased physical damage roll. I perfect augmented it, then I used Greater Essence of Abrasion to guarantee the flat physical damage. Then I just Greater Exalted Orb with an Omen twice give us a bunch of garbage. And the last thing is to just use a jawbone, and thankfully I've unveiled attack speed. The jewelry that we wear is also quite important. You want an amulet with life, levels of melee skills, and of course rarity where possible. Our rings should all be gold rings with life and resist to fill up the gaps, ideally with a physical attack damage leached as life and mana for comfort. Right now we only have a little bit of all, but nothing crazy. These rings can be improved tremendously. Our gloves has life plus flat physical damage and level of all melee skills. Those are the most important mods. A little accuracy here too would not hurt. We also need to get some dexterity on our gear for the gem requirements, especially Rake, because it sits at around 160 dexterity at level 20. Our boots, 30% movement speed with life and a little rarity. Our helmet, life, resist and rarity. You see a trend here. Our shield, the most mediocre slot that we have, we use it for extra defenses and a bunch of resists. For the charms, I am using Fall of the Axe for onslaught and slowed. For Utopia, because I sprint quite a lot and sometimes monsters end up stunning me. This allows me not to die because you can just defend with extra armor, so that's why I'm using it. But if you want, you can switch this to Nasset Hope for the freeze immunity. We also use a golden charm magic, but ideally we want to use a unique golden charm, Rite of Passage with Bear Possess. Unfortunately it's 25 divines and I cannot justify putting this one into the build yet. Our flasks are an ultimate life flask with increased life recovery and an ultimate mana flask with instant recovery. For the passive tree, it is quite simple. We stack all the magnitude of elements and magnitude of bleeding that we can find on the tree. We also take a bit of melee damage and attack damage. We avoid critical, elemental and poison nodes altogether. For our keystones, we use Crimson Assault for aggravated bleed and Iron Reflexes to convert evasion into armor. There is a case to be made for Dance with Death, removing our shield for 25% skill speed, but this will require better min-max gear to be viable. Our resists are already quite stretched. My recommendation is to switch to Spear Field after you get a bit of bleed on hit. Even though the notable is quite far, you can just keep using Twister to level up through the campaign until then. For the jewels, I am using the unique Prism of Belief, 4 + 2 rake skills and a bunch of rare jewels with magnitude of bleed. Nothing crazy. For the permanent buffs from campaign, you can find all this information in the description of the video, either on Mobalytics or PoE Ninja. This concludes the League Starter build guide for my Ritualist Bleed with Magic Find. If you have questions or suggestions, please post them down below in the comment section or come ask them in chat when I stream. I'd love to have you there. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you soon. Exile.